Good evening, Dan Bane, San Clemente resident, city council candidate. I'm throwing no barbs tonight. I think we all agree on this issue. I'm excited to see it on the agenda. Totally support the city's letter to Congressman Issa. I think this is a great thing. Happy to see us do it. Wanted to offer some ideas. I obviously litigate in this context, and I'm going to speak to the city attorney because he's the only one that's going to understand what I'm saying probably, but there is an obscure statute out there called RLUIPA, the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act, that I've litigated a lot in my career. And it deals with religious land uses that are coming into towns, establishing their churches or schools downtown, and sometimes in instances where cities don't necessarily want them to be because it's a tax generating area and they want retail businesses, restaurants, etc. But it's protected by the First Amendment. And I say this because one thing I'd like to see the city do is maybe offer Congressman Issa some help or some suggestions in terms of how to structure this legislation. RLUIPA allows cities like San Clemente, through the conditional use permitting process, to regulate churches, which are protected by the First Amendment. You can't impose substantial burdens on those uses. You can't discriminate against them. Why would the ADA or Fair Housing Act be any different? As long as we are not discriminating against sober living homes, allowing them to operate in the city, but regulating them through the conditional use permitting process, seems we have a good roadmap to do that through RLUIPA, and making sure that they don't overwhelm residential neighborhoods, that they don't have the impacts that we've been talking about throughout the city. That would be a way to do that. And I'd like to see the city go even further, and we have Best Krieger, who is an excellent law firm. They've done a lot of work throughout the cities. Even go further with the letter to say, hey, maybe take a look at RLUIPA and some of these other federal statutes that are already on the books, that have already withstood constitutional scrutiny. Look at those and apply those to the sober living context, because I empathize with everyone that's had to deal with this issue. It's taking over residential neighborhoods, and there's more that we need to do about it. I'm happy that the city adopted local legislation, but as we all know, it's limited. There's only so much that we can do, and until we get a fix to the ADA and the Fair Housing Act, we're always going to be hamstrung. And again, I would just ask maybe the city to go a step further and say, take a look at RLUIPA, let's apply a similar construct and fight this. So thank you. I'm glad to see that the city's taking this step.
Have you contacted Congressman Issa's office with this suggestion?
I have, actually. I talked to Congressman Issa.
And did they have a response for you?
He seemed interested, so
okay,
I'd like the city to go the extra step. So on this, we all agree, and I thank the city council for taking the step. So.
All right, item K.
Bob, I'm sorry,